Hey guys, a little bit of a garden update. It's been a while since I've shown you, and I think the last update we were just getting it ready. We were basically getting the ground ready, getting the soil ready. We have since planted and done a couple rounds of weeding, and then of course a bunch of watering because it's been super hot and dry in Florida. And then you see the dog over there, the little puppy. He's got a lot of puppy left in him. He gets a little rough in here, so we had to put some string around it to keep him out. The duck and chickens can still get in here, but that's fine because they get to the bugs that we don't want. But I just thought I'd show you updates. My first garden, I'm excited. My boyfriend's been doing a lot of the work. I'm not going to lie. He's got a lot more gardening experience, and he's like obsessed with it. Look at these little solar lights we got back here. They're cute and eco-friendly, and they create a nice ambiance. But we have a few rows of tomatoes. The first 3 rows, I think, are all tomatoes. Um, that tree in the back is kind of a funny story. Not really a funny story. It's just us trying to be cheap and resourceful and eco-friendly. So we bought that tree last year for Christmas from Home Depot, and we figured, why don't we just, and it was just in a planter. And that was our little Charlie Brown Christmas tree. We figured we'll just replant it and then cut it down next year or a few years from now and use it as our Christmas tree again. So we get a couple uses out of it, you know? We're the real Green New Deal. And then in the back, I think those are either blueberry or blackberry plants. Then we have some squash in this row. Look at them. You see them? It's so crazy to me how they go from like a flower, like a really light, fluffy looking flower you see in that one in the back, to like the actual squash. Ooh, yeah, it goes from like this little flower to a squash, like just like overnight, like over a few nights. It's crazy to me how nature is just ceaselessly amazing. We picked our first couple tomatoes a few days ago, and I ate the first squash out of the garden last night, which is always nice. I love it. Then we have some watermelon. I never knew that watermelons sprawl so much. I mean, we tried to leave them extra room in this row because my boyfriend knew that was going to happen, but we probably should have left a little bit more room, which you can do. I guess this is more squash right here. They look a little bit bigger, so not sure if they're different. That maybe, is that squash or zucchini back there? You see this open area. This was supposed to be onions, but our onions got eaten by somebody before we could put them in. We left him on the ground, and he still has some puppy left in him, so that's what happened there. But it's fine because when we do get rain, that back corner gets a little wet and washed out, so like overly wet, like swampy wet. So I don't know if that would have been a good area for planting anyway, so that may have been meant to be. Look at that watermelon coming from like all the way over here, and there's like, boo! What an overachiever. And then over here, I have no clue what that is. Oh, cantaloupe. That was the last minute addition. And then we have our little herb garden over here. We have some parsley. I think those are 2 different types of basil. And then rosemary, I believe. And then you see where the stick is? That is me trying to grow avocado. Growing in the ground in Florida is supposed to be